My parents, and I have a brother and a sister. And of course there were aunts and families, and you know how it is. And what shall I tell you from that? I said, my young brother, he was there. What a nice boy, oh my God. They killed him, just shoot him like this. Yeah, and my sister and me, we came back. All the rest of the family, nobody. How old I was, maybe 14, 13. We arrived in May, the half a year till January. I was in this factory working. They took us for walking. Where we could imagine only. We was not sure, didn't know where we were going to walk. They wanted to take us in the hills where they killed. Very simple. But people, you know, they always somehow, they hope something will happen, or I don't know how people behave in such a situation. I don't know, what hope did we have? And we were don't forget, we are hungry all the time. And no water, very few, sometimes water. Yes, of course. I think I was lucky in a way that I managed to get that it shouldn't, nothing happened except that I was beaten up several times. When we arrived to Auschwitz, I remember when I see my father, the last, and my mother. You cannot you cannot forget it. Not to forget it, but I still today I say I cannot understand how could have happened that, and what is happening today all over the world. Not only with the Jewish, they're killing each other like animals. So I was in Auschwitz. I remember the first days, it was in May, end of May. They took her somewhere, and we were walking, and we were beaten up, and then they took us to work on the fields. It was very hot, without shoes. I had a piece of something on my leg, and it was the soldier who was looking after us. He was running after each of us, beating, and they should have carried very big from the field when they take off the greens and everything. It's heavy, you see, big one. And we had to carry that from one place to other, running. It was something that in life I won't forget. And he was running with us with like this, beating us. They were savage. That was the first thing. And then they put into the block. The building that we were living in. That was a long building. On the sides we were sleeping on the side of the room near the wall, and we were how many we were inside? I can't believe it. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. If you wanted to move, everybody had to move. It was something terrible, and that was the smell of the burning flesh, burning meat. You know what it is, the smell of it?
Not human meat, you know.
Yeah, and I didn't know what it is. It was a terrible smell. And then one came, she was a blockade tester. He said, no, there are your parents are burning here, you see? And they didn't understand what it is burning. It was something that they didn't know about it. It was something shock after shock. That was the first days. Celapel, you know what is celapel? Celapel is when they put you in row. They were counting every time that nobody should run away. But what we do know about running away, my God. And beating up here and beating up there. I was working in factory, munition factory. Until the factory, it was the time that we went counting here, counting there, marching here, marching there, carrying things, sometimes carrying a stone, and walking with Can you imagine that in the heat that was in August, June, August, that was very hot. No, water I couldn't drink every time. They gave us something, a cup, something. If you lost it, then you don't drink.
Oh my God.
I also, how much you get to drink, don't ask. And all of them, everybody went through with that. Some of them got sick, and when they got sick, they sent it to burn.
Yes.
Very simple. Sometimes they had nothing to say, so they just had to walk, carrying a piece of stone and walk with that. And then they had the music. You know, they had the capella everywhere, you know, the beautiful music you could hear playing, and we had to march. Also, how can you imagine? How can you imagine that today? No, can't imagine. I tell you something. I think, looking back, nobody understood anything. Nobody could believe that what happened, that it can happen. Look, how can you explain the German people? Even today, I don't understand. How could that happen? A highly cultured people. Häftling is like a prisoner. That way I was a Häftling. And they were also all kind of people that they stayed there and lived there in the camp, in those camps, mostly from Poland and from, I don't know, it was, of course they became also very, very bad. I understand that, yeah, because they were afraid of their own life. So they had to keep us in a certain strict way, yeah. How can you? I explained that way. They took us to another city, and we worked in a factory, and I felt was bad, and I went to one of the. He was a manager or something. He had a gray coat wearing, you know. And I told him that I am very tired. I must go to sleep. He took somebody to take me back to the camp to go to sleep. Can you imagine? Just I was thinking that I have to tell also the good things. You know, now I see the pictures before me. This is something, yeah. And then once I was working on a drill machine, you know, to make holes for arms, to put in the bulls. Yeah. And I was doing that. This was a bore machine, and I had to make the hole. Okay, one day I felt I woke up. And the manager stayed by me with my hand in his hand. He saw that I was doing that on my hand. I was keeping here and to do it, to bore it. And he was there. He always used to go around and took my hand. And so he gave me life. Because somebody was something, they took them away. Nobody stayed there sick or something. Yeah. So it was also a better experience. Really, that one was very helped me. So I was, you know, not afraid to go to him and to ask that I have to sleep, I can't stand. So he went, took a man and took me to the camp. I want to tell the good ones, because sometimes happen. It was a day they came, the SS woman, and then everybody was, you know, in the line. I was in the front, okay. And I was afraid always for those things because they took out people and then you never know what happened to them. So I was in the front, then I came on the end, there was a girl, and I asked her if she wants to stay in the front because I can't stay in the front. And I don't know what I said. And she agreed. And then I was in the end and the other girl in the front. Then the German came, the German woman. She took me out from the back, put me in the front, that I should stay there, not in the back. And that I did that 3 times. I ran away, and every time she put me in the front. And then we were marching away, who knows where. We were going and going and going until we came to a building. As we went inside, opened the door, went inside. What do we see? We see tables. The women are sitting around the table and sewing old clothes, repairing clothes. That's what they took from the people, yeah. And they were fixing those things. I didn't know where I go. That was a surprise. That she took me by force. That not to go there. That she took me there where I had good. I was not afraid so much. So that was also a good. And once I had a splinter in my eye from the machine, you know. No, I said, my God, what's going to happen to me? They will be sent who knows where. Then they took me to a worker, German, and he took a piece of wood and took it out. So you see, that was nice. So, but not too many. Nice, not too many. Some of them that they were more human. Of course. Wow. You know, there is always a group of people that there were some girls more stronger, you know, bigger, more developed. So they were running. They took us going, I don't know where, and going by day, and by night we were some. They put in where the animals live. One night, one of the girls came, and she said that she has seen a tank from Americans. I didn't know where I am. So they went away near that was the road there to see what's happening. You know, there are girls that are not afraid to do something. And there they came back and they said that they have seen American tanks, machines, Americans. Nobody heard anything, you know. And that in the morning they took us again walking. They wanted to take us to the mountains just to kill. That is what they did, just killing. It was like this, walking. And we arrived to a village, German place, a nice place there. And then we stood, we didn't know what to do, what it is. All of a sudden, the Americans came with jeeps. And can you imagine? Yeah. We don't understand what. So then all of a sudden, everybody started to shout and to run around. You understood that the Americans here, so that is something unbelievable. And we were hungry, and that was a village, not a big, it's a nice place. And there were some shops. We went into the shops, we broke the door, the window, and went inside. And I found some food. You know what I found? Candies. Can you imagine? Everything was, and of course, there were hotels, and the girls went inside, and the Americans helped us as much as they could. I mean, they got a shock. And also for them it was a shock. In this village, some of them lived in the hotel, some of them went to the house, in the German house, and they gave us room and to live there. And then we stayed in Germany. That was a camps for us. Could stay here, could stay there. You walk there, and it was a big balagan. You know what is balagan?
Yes,
That is, you learn that word.
a big mess, yeah, I understand.
And then we ate whatever we found. And after a time there, they had their camp for us, and we could go there and to eat. And all the people, the young men, they were younger. They went around walking. They were looking for relatives, who is alive, who is not. I had a young man that with us there. I told him, if you're going, maybe you will find my sister. And I told him her name and how she looks. Okay. One day, so we went to the camp. We are staying in the camp every time. So one day he came back, and she told me that she found my sister in the Rothschilds building camp. By the name, I told her name and everything. And then I met her in Budapest. How did I go there? I don't remember.
I was gonna ask you that.
In Budapest, I had an aunt. But we left there. We came again to Germany. That was a camp. I met friends, and then it was already a normal life. And then people started to go to Israel. To the Germans to forgive? No, I don't understand it. Until today, I have, before some days, I was in my son's place, and he had guests, a couple. He was working with the wife and the husband. The husband came out, he was a German, and he saw my number here. You see, and he was a German. He told me, I saw you have the number. I said, yes. We didn't talk much.
He didn't say anything.
No. I said only, I still don't understand it. I would give him several days to work as we did work.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And the heat, and the hunger, and the shoe, that was not a shoe, it was a piece of, I don't know what was on the foot. And my God. And the mosquitoes, I was full here. I still have the sign, but that is already nothing. Full of bitten. And what happened? It's not dirty, the one not clean, no medication or something. So I was full
Of mosquito bites.
And you know what it is? That is so terrible. That is something full. What makes you believe in something? What can you believe in? What is going on today in the world? The killing everywhere. I am already not surprised with anything. Everywhere it is terrible. It is animals. It is animals. You look around the whole world, they're killing each other like a fly. A person is not more than a fly. Everywhere, in all the countries, they are crazy. Nothing good. We live from today to tomorrow. Hard. It's very bad. I am already old. You see, I look at the things differently, like a young man. And who is going to help? The children first. They should put more on the youngest. No. What for? I go to Germany, let them look.